Hi, this is Mike Green, and here are 5 reasons Sunset Choir is unlike any other choir library. Reason number 1, attack and release articulations. Any library has sustains. But with Sunset Choir, you can choose attacks to lead into those sustains. We can change vowels. And releases, in this case, a natural release, which is the recording of the singers actually ending the notes. But let's get a little fancier. If we have a jungle attack, how about a jungle release? Or check this one out. Or we'll come back to the releases in a minute, but we haven't even scratched the surface of the attacks. Here's a breathy attack. Since we're here, let's match that with a breathy sustain. Pretty cool. And so is this soft N. Who am I kidding? They're all cool. Even crescendos. We have a lot of quick bends. And some not so quick bends. Let me try a swell out release on this. Or some quick bends. Now, Sunset Strings people will remember scatters. This is where each singer goes off in their own direction. And then we can do that in reverse for an attack articulation. I do like the scatters. And, of course, we had to do the slow bends. This one goes up a major second. Here's a fifth. We recorded these all the way up to an octave. And, of course, down as well. Now, here's where we get fancy. What you've seen so far is set intervals where all notes move the same amount, but we also include custom options where you can choose what interval for each note. In this case, it will make any chord come from a D minor. We'll do the same thing with release, but in reverse. And we even have consonants. Let's start with a D for the attack. And for the release, let's do N. Dun, dun. Or let's do shock. SH for the attack. And K for the release. Shock, shock. Of course, we can change vowels. Chic, chic. Shock, shock. How about chuck? Chuck, chuck. All right, enough attacks and releases. We got more reasons to get to. So let's get to reason number 2. The usual sustains, unusual sustains, and then mind-bending sustains on steroids. Now, we have the basics here, although I guess Z isn't exactly basic. As you can see, we've got all sorts of sustains. You know, before we get into these ensemble sustains, let me show you one of the solos. To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be.
To be or not to be.
In that same vein, we have the ensemble doing Latin phrases. Or here's a different one with more S. Or if you want even more S, we have these chatters. With a little voice, a bit more voice. Here's one where everybody's going nun 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 nun. And then here's pitchy flickers. This is where the ensemble sustains, but then individual singers randomly do little flickers. And here's mouth padding, which is what it sounds like and might remind you of a certain TV show. Here's pitch drift, where we get a lot of pitchy weirdness. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's bring in layer 2 with a straight sustain and check out how we can transition from one to the other. And then we've got these evolves, where the singers all independently evolve between vowels. Tell me that isn't cool. But hey, we've already started reason number 3, our 2-layer system. Now, we just saw 2 examples of how you can use the mod wheel to transition between 2 layers. It's pretty self-explanatory, and I'm sure you can already imagine various combinations that would be cool. But we went a little further with this than you might think. Let's suppose you want to transition between vowels, like in this case, ah to oo. Now normally, with other libraries, if you transition between vowels, it's just a crossfade. So it doesn't sound real because halfway between, you're hearing both vowels rather than what the vowel would sound like if you actually sang a vowel between ah and oo. So we spent a lot of time studying formants and the various notches and curves and applied them here. So ours sounds like this. Not bad, right? Or how about if we make the ah layer forte instead of mezzo piano, and then add a little button for the release? So let's have a little more fun and check out how some swells sound when we do this. Now, I know it's a little weird that swells are in the shorts category, but bear in mind that shorts just means articulations that don't keep sustaining. Anyway, check it out. Now, one thing we gotta include when we're talking about our two-layer system is reason number 4, our repetitions engine. Now, remember earlier when we had a sustained nun? In that articulation, everyone is singing nun. With repetitions, we have access to solo singers. In this case, they're each doing a swell, and then another singer does a swell, and then another singer, and so on. You can hear them in different positions across the stereo field since, of course, they were all standing in different places. And of course, we have all sorts of different articulations. For instance, here we have vowel swells. I'll choose O. Cool, right? Now you might be thinking, hey, I want more O's. Well, that's where this repetition density knob comes in. Or maybe you want less O's. So now let's bring layer 1 back into the picture with a soft ooh sustain. It gives you a lot of control over the textures. Now, there are too many of these to go through, but I do want to show you some of the odder ones, which actually do have their uses. And in case you're wondering, these are available to play manually as well. Even those O swells, which make a pretty cool articulation in and of itself. Anyway, as with Sunset Strings, repetitions is one of the most powerful elements of Sunset Choir. But we've got to move on with reason number 5, polyphonic legato that's actually playable. We have normal legato, of course, all 6 vowels, both mezzopiano and forte, with recorded intervals up to an octave. And there's a scripted legato, which is most useful for the solo sustains. But what I like most is the polyphonic legato. This is a release-based legato, where you lift the keys, then any new notes you play within the time window will play as legato. You can even change the number of notes. Go from 2 notes to 3 notes to 4 notes to 5 notes or whatever. It doesn't have to stay the same. You can even hold some notes while other notes move. And, of course, you can add attacks and releases. Is Chuck still here? Or maybe we'll make another word. Let's start with F and then end with N, because this is what'd you think I was going to say? Now, this next thing should maybe be its own reason, but I promised just 5 reasons, so let's call it Reason 5B, slow legato. A favorite part of Sunset Strings was the slow bends, so when we recorded Sunset Choir, we decided to take it a step further and record slow legato as well, with intervals all the way up to an octave. Believe me, this part took a whole lot of time to record, but I think it's worth it, and I hope you do too. These work in normal legato mode, and in polyphonic legato. I think you see why I like this so much. It really is fun to play. But we are out of time. And I already went over my reasons quota. And we didn't even get to the rhythmic stuff, which if you let me have 7 reasons, well, maybe in the next video. Until then, visit us at realitone.com for more information on Sunset Choir. Thanks for watching.